This is an Upwork tutorial for beginners, but it's not like the ones that you've already seen. Every other tutorial gives you 50 things to do and treats them all the same. That's why most beginners quit in month 2. They fix item 14 when item 47 would have changed them a whole year. $500,000 earned on the Upwork platform. My name's Michael Elliott. Nearly 5,000 proposals sent. 14 years in this game. Today, 7 things: S tier, A tier, B tier, ranked by what kills you the fastest. Here's the thing, most beginners pick what they're already good at. The top 1% pick what actually pays when freelancing. Upwork tracked 12 major job categories last year. 11 of them had shrank. Writing down 32%, IT and networking down 27%, translation down 20%. Permanent. That work isn't coming back. One category grew, and that category was design and creative. Because inside of it, video and animation were up 11%, brand and logo design were up 17%, AI video editing up 329%. 329%. Here's the number that should be tattooed on every freelancer's hand. 44%. The earnings premium for AI integrated skills versus the same without AI. Same platform, same work, AI on top. 44% more per hour on average on the Upwork platform. So what does that mean? Well, it means before you touch your profile, before you send a single proposal, you have to pick one of 4 lanes. Design and creative with AI. Web and mobile with AI app integration. Sales and marketing with AI. Or data science and AI itself. 77% of business leaders say they want specialists, not generalists. Someone who knows exactly one thing and uses AI to do it better. Get this wrong, and the other 6 don't matter. You're fishing in a pond that's being drained dry, and I'm pointing you at the one that's filling up. But picking the right pond doesn't mean much if you're undercharging for the fish. Starting Upwork can be daunting. I have been there. I didn't start where I am now. When you charge by the hour, the client is buying your time. Time is finite. You're locked to hours times rate. That's a ceiling with a name painted all over it. I charged $30 an hour for 2 years straight. 2 years. Then I tried project pricing on one client. $2,800 for a campaign build that took me 9 hours. That's $311 an hour. Same work, same result, 7 times the rate. From that day, I never went back. That was the $400,000 a year mistake. You see, the $15 an hour client is shopping for cheap. They're thrift shopping. They question every hour. They treat you like a cost that they need to minimize for some reason. Well, the $150 an hour client is making a risk decision. They read your profile properly. They ask better questions that qualify you. They become long-term retainers. So here's the sequence. First 5 contracts, you're allowed to price low. You take what you can get as long as the individual is good. Not because you're worthless, but because those first 5 reviews unlock everything that comes after that. Once the reviews are in, raise your rate by 50%. Nobody questions it when the proof is already on the profile. Because here's the thing, a $25 profile and a $150 profile are not the same document. Every element on that page is either justifying your rate or it's undermining it, which means your profile isn't a CV, it's a weapon. And most freelancers, they hold it the wrong way around. Every profile tutorial on Upwork treats this as a single platform, and it is not. Getting found is one problem. Getting hired once you're found is a completely different one altogether. Fix only one, and you're either invisible or you're attracting exactly the wrong type of clients. Problem 1, getting found. Your title is the most important keyword field. It needs to match what clients actually search for, not what sounds impressive to you. Then, your skills. You have 20 slots. Fill every single one of them in order of quality based off of what you provide. Then we have testimonials. Here's one most freelancers don't know. You can pull testimonials from LinkedIn onto your Upwork profile without them ever hiring you through the platform. Available for years. Almost nobody uses it. And then we have your availability badge. If it's set to unavailable and you've forgotten about it, Upwork is actively hiding you from search right now because you've told it to. Go and check today. Problem 2, getting hired. You've got 8 seconds once a client clicks, if that. It could be under 3. 8, 3, it doesn't make any difference. The fact is it's quick. Most freelancers open with, I'm a passionate and dedicated professional with over 5 years experience in it. Gone. Tab closed, disappeared. You wouldn't read it either if you were in their shoes. 3 paragraphs, very small paragraphs instead. Paragraph 1, the client's problem. Read it back to them. Something like, if you're running Google Ads and your cost per lead is climbing while your conversion rate sits at 3%, this is what I normally do to fix it. Paragraph 2, your process, specific enough to feel real. Paragraph 3, 1 result, 1 number, 1 next step, and a Loom video. I rewrote one freelancer's profile using that exact structure. Same portfolio, same reviews, same rate. He went from 2 invites in a month to 22 the following month. That wasn't a hack. I'm not a genius. That was just fixing 2 problems instead of 1. But even a perfect profile cannot save a proposal that hits the wrong part of the client's brain. Guys, come here. This is the most important psychological shift in this entire video, and I don't think it exists anywhere else on YouTube in terms of beginner Upwork tutorials. Clients are not buying your skill. They are buying safety. There's a psychologist called Daniel Kahneman. He won a Nobel Prize for proving that the brain runs on 2 systems at once. System 1, it's fast, it's emotional, automatic. It tells you that when you're crossing the road that the car might be dangerous before you've even thought about it. System 2 is slow, logical, and exhausting. Now, most general average human beings go through their day with System 2 completely switched off. But your client's tired. It's busy. 50 proposals in their inbox. They scan each one for 3, 5, 8 seconds maximum. They're looking for that feeling that I mentioned previously. And the feeling that they're hunting isn't for impressed or to be blown away. It's to feel safe. Safe that their problems get solved. Safe that they're in the right hands. Safe that their money isn't being wasted. Safe that they won't fire you in 3 weeks. And there are 3 moves that engineer safety in the first 15 seconds of your proposal. And the first one, it's to mirror their language back to them. Your brain has cells called mirror neurons. When a client reads their own words back to them, their brain labels you as one of us. Their post says, self-starter who handles fast-paced environments. Your opening line says, I'm a self-starter who thrives in fast-paced environments. Their words, their problem, their pond. Second, lead with their problem, not your CV. No one cares about your CV. Not I'm writing to express my interest, not anything that looks wishy-washy. That's the skip pile. Instead, your main challenge is X. Here's the 3-step plan that I'd run to skip it. That sentence is about them, not you. Their brain lights up because everybody else is talking to them about how good they are. You have just knocked the ball back into their court. Now, number 3, and almost no proposal on Upwork uses this. Remove the risk. More Daniel Kahneman, because frankly I think he's a bit of a geezer. Humans feel the pain of losing twice as strongly as the pleasure of gaining. That fear sits in your client's gut the entire time. Kill it with 1 sentence. If you're not happy with the first deliverable, I'll continuously rewrite it at no charge. Costs you almost nothing to offer. The chances are you are never ever going to use it, but it removes the biggest emotional block between them and the hire button. Mirror, problem, risk. 3 lines plus a 40-second loom. That's the formula for success. And once safety wins you the client, what you do next decides whether they stay for a project or they stay for a decade. Every freelancer that I know starts next month on 0. They finish last month's projects, they get the paycheck, and they moved on like nothing's happened. And frankly, that's not a business. That is literally just running around in circles chasing your tail. Picture 2 freelancers. Freelancer A takes one-off projects. 12 one projects a year, $24,000, happy days, 600 proposals sent. But Freelancer B does the same $2,000 project, but from day one positions themselves for something ongoing. A $1,500, $500, $1,000 retainer after the initial work. 4 of those stacked by month 4, 0 proposals sent after that, $72,000 a year locked in whilst Freelancer A is still over there in a field chasing clients. Same skill, same platform, same effort, different model. And here's the mindset shift that I have to instill in you. A supplier delivers the brief. A partner protects the result. Clients pay a supplier once. They pay a partner for a decade. That's the difference. The day I stopped asking clients what they wanted and started telling them what would actually work, just directly, professionally, but directly, everything just changed. But you wouldn't believe the amount of respect that you gain from somebody by just being straight with them. Just be straight. If you're going to be late, tell them. You should never be late. But if you're going to be late, tell them. If there's a problem with the project or if there's an unforeseen thing that's happened, tell them directly. Don't hide it. Don't try and lie. Because the same skills, the same portfolio, completely different energy in the room, that can can change your entire outlook on Upwork. One of those clients is still with me nearly 4 years later. Another referred me to his business partner, and I think I've told the story before about his investor now being my biggest client. In week 1 of every new contract, plant the seed for the client that they didn't ask to hear. Push back on the thing that you know won't work, deliver early, drop in one observation that they didn't pay for at all. That's the partner signal. They don't say anything out loud. They just quietly never leave. And you might be thinking, well, Michael, why is that important? Why is that a big deal to me? Well, because winning a new client costs 5 to 25 times more than keeping one. Every client you keep is one that you didn't have to fight for. But the thing is, you can't retain a client that you never won. And most freelancers, they are losing at the exact moment the job post goes live. 47% of Upwork proposals are sent in the first 5 minutes of a job going live. Nearly half the platform racing to be first. Their win rate? 7.2%. The lowest of any time bracket, by the way. The freelancers who apply 2 to 4 hours later, their percentage win rate? 24.3%. More than 3 times higher. Why? Well, this is a difficult one, but early bidders boost cheap. So you get in there early and boost cheap. Quick note on boosting. Upwork lets you pay extra connects to push your proposal to the top of the client's list, in case you weren't aware. When proposals are thin early on, that top spot is quite cheap. But then 2 hours later, there's another 30, 40, 50 freelancers that have come in. 30 proposals from now, top spot cost us 4 or 5x. They pay it. They pay to hit the top. The early bidder you gets pushed off the page 1 without ever even knowing that it happened. So you have to pick your play. Fast and heavy, apply early, boost hard, build a fortress, but it costs you when it comes to connects. Or fast, light, nimble on your feet. Apply early, apply quickly, don't boost too much, and play volume. Both of these work, even though one's 7.2% and the other one's 24%. When you balance out the cost averaging, you're still going to win a considerable amount of clients. If you send 100 proposals, you've got 7.2 clients, 7 clients. That's not an issue. The issue is if you're fast and lazy. That's where the problems come in. That's where everyone lives, and that's why everybody loses. Then we have time zones. 60% of serious Upwork client spending comes from North America. Another 30% from the UK and Europe. 90% of the money is literally sat in 2 regions. So if your proposals are landing at 3 a.m. in the client's time zone, by the time that they read it, it's sitting underneath another 30 newer proposals, depending on what you've bid. Aim for 9 to 11 a.m. in the client's time zone, not yours. Then days. I pulled the win rate data across every day. Tuesday, 22.4%. Wednesday, 20.1%. Thursday, 18.9%. Friday crashes to 14%, just above. Saturday, the worst day, 12%. Interestingly, and here's the one that nobody expects, Sundays sit at 15.7%. Higher than Fridays, higher than a weekday. Because fewer freelancers, in my opinion, it's because fewer freelancers bother applying on a Sunday. But serious clients are sat down planning their week because that's the only spare time that they've got. So, my advice to you, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday and Sunday. Those 4 days. That's your new calendar for applications. We're now 6 items in, 6 tactical moves. All matter. And the thing is, all of this in 12 months can be outmaneuvered by a freelancer who does one more thing that you don't. This is the one that nobody else will tell you. The first 6 get you started, but this one keeps you here. AI integrated skills pay 44% more per hour on Upwork right now. AI-related work on the platform generated over $300 million last quarter alone, up more than 50% on the year before. Clients spending on AI work literally spend 3 times the platform average. So, here's what you have to do. Automate the admin tax. Every Upwork freelancer leaks money in the same 3 places. Every single one that I've ever met. Missing invitations because you were in a meeting, when the 2-hour window to reply hot is the entire game. Burning your evenings managing client messages from your phone. That is a big no-no. Forgetting proof points from old projects because you finished the contract and moved on. That's a major issue. I've built a Claude routine for each of these. 1 scans incoming invitations, scores them against my actual services, pings me on Slack only when something hot lands. 1 drafts message replies based on what the client actually said, but interestingly, the whole thread in the last hour or so. And 1, it captures case studies from every closed contract the moment that it ends. So 6 months later, I can still reuse the proof. That's not Upwork tips. That's an Upwork business, and there's a difference. And here's the shift that matters most. Every client that you win is actually 2 assets, not 1. You have the income and the review plus proof. Capture both, reuse both, stack both, save both. The freelancer who treats Upwork like a job board will be there 6 months from now. The freelancer who treats it more like a launch pad will have left. AI is what compresses that timeline. Now I've got a secret, and here's the thing that I didn't tell you at the start of this video. There's actually a tier that's above S. I didn't mention it because if I had, you'd have treated this whole video like motivation. And all I'm doing is trying to share my knowledge to help people improve their life. Nodded along, that's what you would have done. Felt inspired, closed the tab, done just about nothing. That's what happens. That's natural even. You have to fight that urge. So I gave you the tactics first. S, A, and B. 7 things that actually work. On the screen animations all the way through the video. Now you can hear this. Above S tier, there's one more tier. And it isn't a skill, it's not a setting, and it's not something that you can just sit down and install over a weekend. It's non-negotiable, and it's this. Freelancing is hard. The first 6 months are absolutely brutal. Rejection feels personal. Uncertainty will wake you up at 3 a.m., 2 a.m. more than once. I promise you. And that's exactly why you should do it. Because the easy path, the 9 to 5, the manager you can't stand, the pay rise somebody else decides whether you're worth, that's the path that everybody else is on. And that's the path that ends with you becoming the punchline at somebody's dinner party in 20 years' time. Yeah, he was going to start his own thing, but he never did. You're not that person. You clicked a video called Upwork Tutorial for Beginners. You watched for 12, 13, 14 minutes. You're already not the person who's going to be mocked later. Every single freelancer earning real money on this platform had a first month where they sent 50 proposals, maybe invested money, and heard absolutely nothing. And that is good. That's feedback. Improve your proposals. Every single one of us has had it. Pick anybody. I am great friends with some of the biggest freelancers on Upwork, 2 million plus in earnings. And every single one of them had this issue. And the only difference between them and the people who quit is that they kept going when it stopped being fun. The difficulty is the filter. If everything was easy, everybody would have Bentleys and Lambos. The filter is what creates the opportunity for us in the first place. If this was easy, everybody would do it. There'd be no money in it. We'd have to be doing something else. The fact that most people quit is exactly why people who don't get paid so well. That's your non-negotiable. And it's the most important thing in this video. It's not a tactic. It's not a hack. Just the decision to keep going when every logical reason tells you to stop. Get that right and then link up the S, A, and B tiers that actually matter. Get that wrong, and none of it saves you. Get that right, and the S, A, and B tiers actually matter. But if you get that wrong, none of it saves you. Now you've watched this video, you are my peer. It doesn't matter whether you have $0 to your name or you have $10 million to your name, whatever the highest value on Upwork is. So now, let me put it all together for us. The non-negotiable is resilience, the decision to keep going no matter what happens. S tier, the right lane, the right profile. A tier, partner pricing, safety in the proposal, sniper timing. B tier, monthly recurring revenue, and AI. If you fix them in that order, non-negotiable first, because if that's broken, nothing else gets built on top of it. Non-negotiable first, every one of the 7 tactical items has a deep dive video on this channel. The links are in the description. Start with the S tier item 1, the lame video, work down in order. Here's what I'd do tonight if I was you. Open your Upwork profile, read your overview out loud. If the first sentence starts with I am, drop a 1 in the comments. If it starts with the client's problem, drop a 0. Let's see the balance. Let's see where everybody's at. Let's help each other fix this and through the resilience of the journey. Subscribe if you want more of this type of content. No filler, no fluff. Just 14 years and $500,000 on Upwork earnings actually taught me all of this. My name's Michael Elliott. If you want to come on a journey with me to get your profile off the ground, start winning clients, start making a name for yourself on the platform, hit subscribe because I'm dropping videos like this every week. I'll catch you in the next one. If you've enjoyed this, go and check this video out here.